Welcome to part 6 of our guide to interpreting CEESAT reliability criteria for use in CEEDER, the CEE database of evidence reviews. My name is Andrew Pullin and I am presenting this series of short videos. In this part, I'll be covering the interpretation of Criterion 6, data coding and extraction. In this first part, we consider if review authors clearly identify a set of data to extract from each study. For example, using a structured, predetermined data extraction sheet. This should allow sufficient transparency for the process to be replicated and evaluated by a third party, and also this reduces the risk of bias caused by differences in data extraction from individual studies. Typically, extracted information from each study included in the review comprises such things as study aims, intervention details, study design, population characteristics, comparator details, and of course the results, for example, point estimates and measures of variance. Why does this matter? Well, there are several types of bias that are possible. For example, data collection bias occurs when a data collector's beliefs influence the way relevant data are collected and results in inaccurate estimates of an effect. Data entry bias occurs when omitting to enter data, inaccurately entering data, or inaccurately converting handwritten data into digital form. And lastly, expectation bias occurs when reviewers are influenced by prior expectations when deciding which data to extract. So for 6.1, gold is awarded if the authors state in a protocol the type of data to be extracted and the methods by which data from each study will be extracted so that the process can be replicated, and then they subsequently confirm these methods were ultimately used in their review, or they provide any reasons for any deviation from it. Green is awarded if the authors state in the review methods, but not in a protocol, the type of data to be extracted and the methods by which data from each study were extracted so that the process can be replicated. In some cases, methods may have been partially reported in a protocol, but then substantially modified during the review process. This would also get a green rating. Amber is awarded if the authors state in the review methods the type of data to be extracted, and although the review does not provide a fully replicable methodology for data extraction, it is possible to infer the broad method from the reported results. For example, a table that lists all eligible studies and the data extracted might be included. Red is awarded if neither requirement of Amber is evident and it is unclear what data were selected for extraction and or no consistent approach to data extraction is reported. In the second part, for the same reasons as in 6.1, it is important for transparency and replicability that authors provide a spreadsheet of all data and metadata extracted from each study. This allows verification by a third party should the findings be contested. So for 6.2, gold is awarded if all data selected for extraction are provided in a table or spreadsheet as set out in the protocol. This includes both metadata and the data used in the synthesis for each primary study. For example, raw outcome metrics such as means and variances. In addition, any calculations or transformations of data performed by review authors are fully reported and therefore replicable. Green is awarded if elements of gold are met except the table or spreadsheet is not set out in a protocol. Amber is awarded if the review provides a table or spreadsheet that includes some of the extracted data for some or all studies. For example, a table or spreadsheet only lists partial data for each study but omits other information, or lists extracted data but not for all studies, or it may be a combination of these. Red is awarded if data extracted are not presented. Finally, cross-checking of data extraction among multiple reviewers improves accuracy by ensuring the correct data are extracted for each element, and therefore reduces the risk of bias and errors due to interpretation or transcription. For 6.3 then, gold is awarded if data were extracted from each study by at least 2 independent reviewers and differences resolved through discussion. Green is awarded if an explanation is provided of how a sample of extracted data was cross-checked between 2 or more reviewers and differences resolved through discussion. Amber is awarded if cross-checking of extracted data between 2 or more reviewers was carried out, but the explanation is unclear or incomplete. Red is awarded if no explanation of cross-checking is provided. So thanks for listening to this presentation. I hope it was helpful in gaining an understanding of the importance of transparency of methods and reporting on data coding and extraction to inform your decision making. If you have any questions or feedback, please use this email or visit the CEEDER website.